Hello, my name is Aston and I am an artist. Thank you so much for landing upon this video. Today is super exciting because I will be swatching the 24 tube set of Knicker poster colors. These are famously used by Studio Ghibli in their background paintings. And doubly exciting, I will be swatching them on the Muse TMK poster paper, which is the paper used by Studio Ghibli to do their background paintings. So I'm going to try to use these paints how the studio uses them. I believe they wet the paper on both sides before painting. So that's what I will do for swatching. And there also is a little something that I might like to make using these materials, inspired by replicating a still that I took from the 1979 Anne of Green Gables anime series, which I think is Studio Ghibli adjacent somehow. Anyway, similar style, gorgeous background, and I'm so excited to see what these are like. As far as I know, poster color behaves a lot like gouache. It is less expensive because poster color is designed to be bold and bright initially, but maybe won't last forever on a museum wall. Poster color is way less light fast than, say, traditional gouache, but the material supposedly behaves similarly. It's a water-based paint, and therefore you can reactivate it just like gouache. And I am so excited and delighted to test out the same materials that are used by brilliant artists who have created some of my most favorite films ever. Please let me know which Studio Ghibli film is your favorite. Mine, always and forever, I think is Princess Mononoke. That's actually the first one that I saw, but there's something to love about all of them. Just the beauty, the storytelling, the beauty, the music. Yeah, I'm fascinated and drawn to these beautiful films, and I'm so excited to test out the same materials that are used to make them. So thank you so much for joining me on this swatching journey, and I will circle back later and let you know my final thoughts. I hope you enjoy. Here we are in fast motion, getting the paint from the tube into the palette, and this always seems to take me a very long time, so I've sped it up for you. And I also constantly feel like I lose my place in the order. Anyway, we get there, and let's sally forth. Okay, so I've just wet the paper on both sides, and here we go. I am just using the brush that came with my Caran d'Ache gouache tin. And the reason I have these Sharpie lines is just to see the opacity. And I'll do a lighter one, a more watery one as well. Black. So my very first impression is these go down super smooth on the paper, and in a very thick layer are quite opaque. Up next is French Gray. Followed by Burnt Sienna, classic. And I did notice, since I wet the paper on both sides, maybe I didn't apply enough water, but this paper really like drank the water super quick. It was thirsty. Yellow ochre. She's a beauty. Up next is Carmine, which to my eye looks to be the cooler of the two reds, or the more blue-toned red. Is that what you would say? I'm like just starting to learn about color theory and warms and cools and all that stuff. So forgive me if I don't get it right. Okay. Up next is Scarlet Lake, which seems to be the warmer of the two reds. If anyone knows the origin of adding the lake after the color name, I would love to know what that means. Because there can be other colors that are lake as well. What makes a color a lake? I wonder. orange. So far these feel very similar to gouache. I know that poster color is a lot less expensive than gouache because it's not built for longevity. But if that's not important to you, it really is very gouache-like. Although getting anything imported here in the States is, don't get me started on the state of America at the moment. It can feel pretty grim, but we're not even gonna go there because this is a space for comfort and joy. Okay. I diverge. Chrome yellow. And what makes it a chrome also? Wouldn't I like to know? Because there's also a chrome green in this set. And I don't know if I knew before that you could have a chrome color. Yeah, if you know what it means, let me know, please. Okay, lemon yellow, which to my eye appears to be the cooler toned yellow. To my eye, at my first job in New York, one of my bosses, whenever he didn't like something that you made, it was a build shop, like a prop build shop, and if he was unhappy with something that you did, he would always lead with, "To my eye." And the way that he said it, in my opinion, sounded a little pretentious and got on my nerves at the time. But now I just think it's kind of funny. And I actually say it a lot, "to my eye." But maybe in a different way, like not to not to pretend to be nice when there was definitely a tone when he said it. Okay, chrome green. What makes it a chrome green? What makes something a lake color? What makes something a chrome color? Light green. Okay. So far, so good. These are awesome. And I will be right back with another sheet of the Muse poster paper, and we will do the next set of 12. Okay, we're back. So this paper like drinks water super quick. It's interesting. This is pink. It also has such a smooth texture, the paper, and that's how Studio Ghibli gets those backgrounds to look so smooth, is because the paint is smooth in texture, but the paper itself, it's not like textured watercolor paper that has a bunch of grooves. It's really flat and smooth. This is another burning curiosity. How did opera pink get its name? This one is just called opera, but I wonder how opera pink got its name. And opera pink seems to be a big, very popular in the culture at the moment, or at least I feel here on YouTube, I see a lot of opera pink. And she's having a cultural moment. Let me know if you agree, or if you've noticed that. Okay, magenta. I'm sure I've said it already. This paint came from Sekaido in Tokyo, which is paradise for artists. Ooh, up next is Cobalt Violet. I think the artists at Studio Ghibli use traditional paintbrushes to do their backgrounds. I would use one, but I do not have one in my collection, and when I was in Japan, I could not find a synthetic calligraphy brush anywhere. So if you know where I can get a quality synthetic calligraphy style brush, please let me know. Up next, and then there's mauve, or mauve, depending upon your choice. Pronounce it however you would like. I am from Texas, and we would definitely say mauve, but I know that elsewhere it's mauve. Ooh. So interesting. This is not what I think of when I think of mauve. She's versatile. This is a different expression of mauve than I am used to. That's cool. Up next, Prussian blue. Coming up next, Cobalt. Can you tell I've been watching a lot of Drag Race? Watching and re-watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I love Drag Race. I love RuPaul. RuPaul is a hero to me, personal hero. And I love a design competition, reality show, or a talent competition, reality show, or a art reality show. And Drag Race is all of those in one show. My queens. Yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race, I recommend. Get into it. French blue is next. And why is it French blue? And earlier we had a French gray. If you have the answer, I would love to know. Ooh. Okay, cerulean. Fun fact about me, when I was a kid, the Crayola cerulean crayon was one of my favorites, along with the jungle green. But when I was learning how to read, I couldn't figure out cerulean, so I called it curloon. Facts. Yeah, as a little kid, I was interested in the color names. Light blue, did I say? Light blue. Viridian is next. What a name! What a name for a color. I think it's gorgeous. Viridian. So fun to say. It would be a good drag name. Viridian. Viridian Envy. Art supplies are really fun, you guys. Last but certainly not least is not just any green. She's imperial green. Royalty. Okay, while these are drying, I will write in the names. and then I will share my thoughts. Okay, so here we have the full set together. Gorgeous. This one is still drying a little bit, but here are my thoughts. These are beautiful. They dry quickly. They apply smoothly. The paper as well is beautiful. I like this paper. It feels really different to other papers, but it's a nice experience. So I haven't made a painting with these yet, and I do want to do my Anne of Green Gables replicant, but this video is long enough, I'm sure, so I will save that one for another day, but I will definitely bring you along for that ride. It's a really nice, approachable paint. Let me read the names to you one more time. White, black, French gray, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, carmine, scarlet lake, that would be a good drag name, orange, chrome yellow, lemon yellow, chrome green, light green, pink, opera, magenta, cobalt violet, mauve or mauve, dealer's choice, Prussian blue, cobalt, French blue, cerulean, light blue, viridian, and imperial green. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching till the end. I do realize that you have a choice in internet content, and I thank you for flying my friendly skies. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.